Hi everybody, it's Marcy, and I'm here with another craft with me for Christmas. And today I've got these little memo books that I've altered a little bit just to make them look a little more festive. These little booklets, I'm pretty sure you can buy them at Dollar Tree for about 3 for $1. I got mine at Walmart because they had them for 27 cents each, which is a little less expensive than 3 for $1. And I've just given them a new front and back cover, a little tiny embellishing, a little wrap to hold on them, and just made them a little more festive. So, now you'll see on this one actually has a tie closure, which was my original plan. This was the first one that I did, and I'll untie that. And I've just got the ribbon glued underneath the scrapbook paper. But I kept gluing down my scrapbook paper before I had glued the ribbon down, so I had to change my plan on that. I don't know why. I even cut the ribbon ahead of time and had it sitting right in front of me. But once I got in gluing mode, I kept gluing. Okay. So, I forgot to pull out a little memo book. Here we go. Oh. Okay. Mine are 3 inches wide by 5 inches tall. You can do this with any size, doesn't matter. So I've cut 2 pieces of scrapbook paper 3 by 5. And when I say I cut them 3 by 5, I cut them on the long side of 3 and the long side of 4. Meaning I was just over, or 5. I was just over the 3-inch line on my cutter and just over the 5-inch line on my cutter. And that seems to work great. Now, I needed a template, and I sacrificed one of my memo books. Actually, I sacrificed it before I figured out how I wanted to do these. And so I'm just using the backing off of one of them as my template. You could take a page out of one of them to use as a template. Whatever works for you. And I'm just going to line my template up with my papers. Set them down, and I'm going to mark where I need my holes to be. Because I want to get these around that spiral wire. Okay. And I only need to mark one set. Be sure I've got them going the right direction. And then I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile on the 1/8 inch hole punch side. And I'm going to punch a hole at each of my marks. And I will speed the video up through this. Okay, so I have my holes punched, and now what I need to do is take my scissors and cut from the edge nearest the holes into each hole. Just cut a line so that we can get that spiral wire. We can get our paper through that spiral wire. Okay, so that's done. Now, I'm simply going to take one of my sheets and put it on the front, pushing the little tabs that I made. Be sure they're pushed all the way through and resting flat. And do that again on the back. Now, mine has these spiral locks on it, so I just turn it while I'm putting my papers on. And then you'll probably see me turning it again as I'm working with these. Okay, so now I've got paper on the front and paper on the back. Now I want to glue my paper down. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to be using my art glitter glue. I think any wet glue would work for this, but I'm going to go under the holes and up in the center a little bit. I want to get as close to my edges as possible. I apologize if there's a lot of shadows in this. It's really cloudy and the sun is going down here, so. Okay, so I'm going to fill in. I want plenty of stickiness. And then the last thing I'm going to do before I glue it down is I'm going to come between each wire and add just a little bit of glue there. That way my paper has something to grab onto at the very top. Now I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to work it just to get my covers lined up so that they are aligned at the bottom edge and on each side. Then once that's done, I can squish it all down and use my pen cap sort of as my burnishing between these spiral wires. That pen cap has been a very useful little tool for me on these. Okay, now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the back side. And the basic cover is done. So now I'm going to go back to the front for a second while the back's drying. Now my memo book, I don't know if you can see it, but the corners are actually rounded. The rounded corners, the size does not match any of my corner rounders. So I've just been taking my scissors and cutting around the corner. And like here, I've got just a tiny bit of overage on my paper. So I can trim that a little bit. Now I can do the same thing on the back. On the back it looks like I have a tiny bit of overage on each side. I've been trying to get any overage that I have all on one side. I don't know how I wasn't paying attention, I guess. Didn't have the camera on before. Although that didn't seem to stop me from forgetting the ribbon that I had originally planned. Okay, so there we go. Be sure everything is squished down and holding. Okay. So now I think on this one, trim that a little bit. I'm just going to take a little bit of ribbon. Maybe I'll cut it. Got to think about how I'm going to cut it. Like so. Cut that there and make it, I forget what that, is that called a dovetail? I think is what it's called. Do one on that end. And now, let's see, I know that I have 11 holes, so the 6th hole is the center. My bottle of art glitter glue is just about gone. Which I'm excited about. I think I mentioned in another video that I have another bottle off to the side, and it's a 4-ounce bottle as opposed to this 2-ounce bottle. And I put way too much glue there. Let me grab a paper towel so I can be able to clean up my mess. Alright, so I've got my ribbon, and I've got a Have Yourself a Merry Little Winter. I don't know if I mentioned what paper I'm using. This is still the Say Freeze that I got last year at Michael's. Part of one of their Hot Buy paper pads last year. Don't think I'll be buying any of their paper pads this year because, yeah, I've got lots of paper pads to use. Oh, and I went shopping at Spectrum Art live sale. Yeah. All I can say is Merry Christmas to me, Happy Anniversary to me, Happy Birthday to me. Okay, and just put that on there. And the last thing I'm going to do is, since I didn't do the ribbon tie, which I think this little sleeve will actually work a little better anyway, because with a memo book, are you really going to want to take the time to tie the closure every time? I kind of doubt it. I wouldn't if I were using it. So I just take a strip of paper 1 inch wide by, my book is 3 inches wide, so I made this 7.5 inches wide. And I'm just going to wrap it around. Be sure my ends meet. I'm not pulling it too tight. And I'm going to put a spot of glue on this end. And a spot of glue on that end. And then just bring it back together. And that'll hold the book closed and just slide on if they want it, but off if they don't or want to open the book. And that is my little altered memo book. I think these are so cute, and I think these will be a great addition to the treat bags I will be making. And like I said, just trying to bring a little Christmas cheer. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm at this point, I'm making 5 of most of the things that I'm making. I don't know how many treat bags I will end up with altogether, but I want to have a wide variety of items, and not everything that I make, not every treat bag that I make will have one of these little memo books in it. But right now, I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and nothing I've done thus far has been difficult. Look, from that little memo book to that little memo book. And to me, that's fun. And I like doing that. So anyway, guys, that's it for now. But I was really kind of tickled with these. A very simple thing. But I think they're cute and you gotta smile. So until I see you again, please be safe, stay healthy, happy crafting, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.